Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining me. It's Saturday morning where I am, and it's a glorious day. The sun is out, so you know it's going to be a glorious day. Come on in, grab your coffee, grab your tea. You know, um, definitely need coffee today. I have my broomstick runs on coffee mug today. I love my mugs. Broomstick runs on coffee. Uh, good morning. I feel like, yes, there's a lot of things that need to be running on coffee right now. So it's kind of one of those things. So I need you guys just to take a deep breath. Come on in. There's so much. Fuck. There's so much propaganda and um I keep on I'm seeing all these posts and all this propaganda, and I was saying to people um where I think Renee, he's on my Facebook, and he posted where it showed, the coronavirus going out one door and the missile coming in. And he asked what people think. And I told him, I said, it's the next spell, but it's even bigger. And that's the thing. It's a big spell. Not saying it's not true. Like it's not, see, let's go back to the coronavirus. I'm going to try and explain this for people to understand. When I talked about the things that were happening with the coronavirus, and I said it's a spell. It's a spell that was happening because they want you to believe in a certain narrative. They want you to believe and believe this in fear, this narrative. They want you to believe this. If you believe this, you will follow it. If you do this and I get you scared enough, you will follow whatever I'm coming out there and telling you. So of course they get it spewed at you from all different angles. Through the news media, through the governments, and then passing it down to your workplace. All of this. But here it is. It's when you understand that it's a spell, that when you understand that put it this way, let's take the word spell out. When you understand that you are being manipulated, and the manipulators are knowing what to poke at with you in order for you to align with their agenda. If I manipulate you enough, you will follow into my agenda. When you don't fall towards what I am saying, and you go into a different direction, what happens? They get all flustered and they get like, "Oh my God, look at what you're doing. How can you do this?" It's, but when you take that step back and you're saying, "But I'm fine. Everything is okay. We're going to be good." Now we're in an energy, and the moon's in Capricorn right now, and it's going to be passing over Saturn, Venus, or not Saturn. Well, it will pass over Saturn, but today going over Mars and Venus and Pluto. It's raising up. It's raising up an internal intuitive energy for you to really take a look at what is being promoted out there for you. What is that energy that's being promoted that is getting you to step into fear, step into the propaganda that is being portrayed at you? CNN did this post and it went viral, and it was like they're showing you everything to do with what's happening in the Ukraine. Then they shrink the picture down and they do a big ad for Applebee's. If this is so prominent, if this is so, like, Applebee's can take a back seat, could it not? But Applebee's comes on? Good morning, everybody. Awakening. This is getting us to awaken. The energies, the beautiful flow of energies that are coming in are really allowing us to step into our intuition and really look at things within our lives and take a real look on direction that we would like to take. And this is where, when we're listening and aligning with our intuition, it's uncharted territories. It's uncharted territories. There is a part, yes. I mean, things are explosive, things are chaotic, but they're explosive and chaotic because we are going through huge transformation and change in how we want to change the narrative in our life, in the way that we do and run our world. And we saw a glimpse of it. And I'm going to go back to what the truckers were doing. We saw a glimpse, whether you agree with them or don't agree, you don't agree with what it was, peaceful. We saw it with what the farmers were doing in India. It was peaceful. It wasn't violent. It's coming together to create the change. We have these old players that are trying to play a game and trying to hold this game up, when this new current that's coming in that's saying, we don't want to play that game anymore. We don't want to go towards that anymore. We want something of substance. We want something of quality within our lives. And here it's, this energy that's coming in, it is wanting us to break out of the old direction. Break out of, especially as we go towards this new moon, of Jupiter setting off some beautiful waterfalls for us to go forward. Now, we haven't had this energy like this and this brilliance of light that's coming in since 1856. Now, I've come to you guys and I've talked to you about the craziness of the energies, and get ready. We're going to be ready for a ride, and I, explaining to you about, when the Mafia brothers were together and the things that are going to be coming out with the Mafia brothers. Now I'm wanting to show you that this time between now and the full moon, which is Tuesday, that this is a time for really setting in the direction you want to go to and your destiny. Really beginning to take a pen and paper and really go through. This is like, what now? What do I need to do now and to do with my life? What do I need to do within my life to bring in a better quality of my life? There's so much that's coming forward in the 3D level. Yes, and there's a lot there that we have to work with. I know my guides. I love it. I love it because they're like, we're pulling them into this light. We're pulling you into the beautifulness. And I feel the anxiety of the world. I feel the anxiety of so many people are, but what about this? What about this? What about this? This is, again, we're coming back to this higher angelic energy that is here, and it's big choices. It's very sensitive place, but we can't lose yourself into all the media. You can't lose yourself in a television war. This is where you come in, and this is where there is a kink in the hose. If there's a kink in the hose, can you still not water the lawn? Is there still not water pressure coming in? Is there still something not there that you can sort of straighten the hose out? The North Node is on Algol. Algol is the demon star, and the North Node is in Taurus. Taurus is about our values. We got Uranus there too. So and Uranus is the crazy uncle that really wants to make you have some really great things, but you got to look at them and be truthful with it. This is coming in and like, what are your values? And why? And if you don't like somebody or you don't like their values, come back and ask yourself why, because there's some kind of fear. Your values and my values are different. It's like trying to understand until you go into to understanding why people do certain things. Why do people act a certain way? And it might be, and how they were raised, how they were, um, the experiences that they had in life. So they hold these different values because that's how they see it. They haven't seen it differently until they experience it with someone else, but they fear it. They fear it. And there's that fear that's there. So we have this energy that's coming in that's asking you to take a look at your fears. What are you fearing? Because when we can take a look at our fears, we can begin to tweak them, begin to change them in a more understanding, loving way, especially with all this light coming in. We can be able to come in and really start to see things with new eyes. And that's what we really have to do. It's like really understand that, okay, this is what's happening. We see it. But what is the truth of it all? Do we know the truth of it all? Everybody got on the bandwagon when it came with the first spell. Everybody got scared. They were fearful. And I kept saying to people, it's a spell. Don't worry. Like they're going to feed you this narrative. They're going to feed you this line. And they did. And now that's all falling apart. I mean, if you saw the thing with Bill Gates was doing a talk and he said, I think in the clip, it was like, he said, yeah, it's kind of bad that Omicron is making people's immune system stronger or something along that line. I'm misquoting, but that was the gist of it. But he said before that, that's bad. And it's just like, why would you say that? Isn't that a good thing? So you must have an ulterior agenda on there. Do we know the full agenda of what's going on with what's going on over there? We have been raised with such hate, such propaganda, not to like the USSR, Russia. It's not the USSR, but Russia. I just dated myself. We were raised not to fear them, right? Fear that over there. And it's like, okay, but I want to understand this a little bit more. There's such culture, there's such wisdom, there's such, beauty that's there that we need to step into and not fear it. So we have this energy that's coming in and it's beautiful. And this is a beautiful, like to really take you into a beautiful spot and not fall into our own traps, not to fall into the craziness. This is our subconscious fears that trap us, the patterns that are not taking you to go into your lives. This is really having to do, I mean, Eros is coming in and he's sextiling over to Venus. I mean, he's the god of love. He's sexy god coming in, and he's like with that of Venus. What do what is that core that you want within a relationship? What's the substance that you want within relationships? And it's not necessarily just love relationship. This is relationship with self. This is relationship with the world. And you can get really scared and caught up with what's going on, but we got to take a breath and we need to step back. We need to ground and we need to focus on what is going to bring in my connection with my higher angelics and the energies that are coming in. This is our relationship. This is our passion. And this is where Mars is exalting. It's coming into an exaltation here. And can we do something with it? This is looking at our spiritual purpose. Yes, you're going to hear a lot of astrologers and that talk about with that Mars and Pluto. Yeah, it's crazy energy there. That is really explosive energy. I'm not going to lie. It is. Because Mars is coming in, the god of war. I'm here, I'm exalted. And Pluto saying, yeah, I love being here too. What can we do with all of this? But it's also wanting to bring out truth. And and see the truth of what is going on. So that we can really understand what this deep state is. We can really understand what all of this is. And we're like, huh, are we going to be continued to be manipulated by media and government? This is where it's like, okay, no, I don't want to go with that narrative. I don't want to follow with that. And then you say to yourself, well, it's only me. What can I do? You could do a lot by just shining your light and being true to who you are. Shining your light and being into your truth. Your truth spreads out to your family, spreads out to your friends, co-workers. You stand in your truth. You stand in a place of non-judgment, and you shine the light of love. And that's where we're at, is being able to shine a light into the love, shine a light into the darkness, so we can create the harmony and the bliss and the joy that we would love to have in this world. It's there. It is truly there. But when we're following the media and the narrative that's being sent, it's like, wow, more truth is coming out. And as it comes out, it's like, holy shit. you know, wow, this is, we there were people who were trying to hold other countries accountable, but we're thrown under the bus because they have their agenda. They have where they want to keep their almighty dollar. So here we have to come in with a clear mind and a clear heart. What is the direction that we need to go into? How can we make ourselves safe? How can we make ourselves secure? What are the things and the steps that we need to do in order to go forward? That's the most important thing. And looking at that and looking at, okay, what is it that I need, that I want to do to create my desires, my harmony, to create more abundance in my life? It is a time to create more abundance. And allowing yourself to go in and to create that abundance. So taking that time for oneself and really, as we're heading towards this new moon, and this new moon is like a powerhouse. So I'm going to say for many of you, you're going to be feeling exhaustion. You might be finding it harder to sleep, and it's kind of like where, how the full moon can really activate people. Well, this new moon is really going to activate people. It is a new moon in Pisces with Jupiter and Neptune. With Jupiter and Neptune. Now that is water energy, and it controls a lot of water. It controls a lot of energy when it comes to emotion, when it comes to intuition. So this is where you're going to find, make sure that, if you have any leaks, get them fixed. If there's anything going on with things or leaking in your vehicle or in your house, get them fixed. It has to do with water, all types of whatever flows, whatever flows. So this is looking at things that are flowing. So it's a time for us to really, take a strong hold, come into our grounding, and not go into the fear of it all, because there is a lot of fear out there right now, and it is intense. So there's an intensity that is there, but there's a doorway that's opening up for us, and it's splitting. It is where, what side of the bridge do you want to be on? What side do you want to go on? Where do you want to align yourself with? And as as the moon is crossing over to make decisions of this world, this is coming together on what the doorway is and where we want to begin to align ourselves and what that alignment feels like within ourselves. So this is closing cycles of new doorways, closing cycles so that new doorways are opening, and falling, don't be falling into the fear. A lot of people are going to be falling into the fear. And the moon, as it's coming in, and it's going to go into Saturn, go into Aquarius on Sunday with Saturn, so many S's, we're going to have like a Saturnian type of moon because the moon is going through all of Saturn ruled planets. So it's very Saturnian, along with Pluto, along with Pluto, get out of here. Like, okay, along with Pisces. So a Saturnian with Pisces energy. And so this is like buckling up to go get ready for the ride. Don't enter into the fear. Fear is is what's we need to overcome and make things positive. And as Mercury comes, is moving fast, Saturn is saying, this is where Saturn is saying to make sure you have what you need and not disconnect. Not disconnect. Saturn wants to make sure you're prepared. Prepared. And Saturn's like, hold on, because he's an old man. He's like, and here comes little Mr. Whip-de-dee-doo, Mr. Mercury. And he's like, no, hold on. Mercury doesn't like to be told to hold on. It's like, no, I don't want to hold on. But Saturn's saying, hold on. Do you have what you need? Do you have, is your house in order? If it's not, let's see what we can do. What are the steps? Again, let's write it down. What are the steps that you need to create your house in order? What is it that you need to create, the better relationships? Maybe you need to start looking at more of your health. Like, where is Pisces in your chart? What house is it in? I went over the other day of each of the signs and what to get ready for, what to look at, with this energy. Trying to see if I can find it again. But I went over and I talked about each of the oh, my notes. You gotta love it. But going through each of the signs, I think I did that on Monday. And talking about each of the houses and what to look through and how, and this is like when you look at it, which way are you going? Are you going in the way of your truth, your love, your or are you going into fear? Or, are you falling into the fear factor of it? So this is where we're coming into reevaluating everything. This is where we're coming into looking at what we are wanting to create with everything. So as things break out with the matrix awakening, this is where we can go into the suffering or war, or we can go into the love and the peace. We have choices. We have more choices than we ever had in any lifetime. And this is the awakening you to something else. This is awakening you to something greater. And this is really having us revealing this deep state that, many of us have been asleep for a long time, and awakening from this deep state. And as you awaken to it, this is where there's a fear factor that comes in with this awakening, because you're seeing things with such fresh eyes that you've never seen before. And there's a history with all of this. There's a history on how this all unfolds. That's one of the things I love about the astrology. There's a history, where Jupiter and Saturn, or Jupiter and Neptune come together. I mean, that's when we look at that history, what were they trying to change? Many were stepping out and saying, people wanted slavery. They wanted to keep the slavery. 1856, I want to keep the slavery. But here people were coming into and saying, no, that's not what we want. We want to bring people to freedom. We want to change this. We want to change. We don't want to hang on to this old way, because it's not right. It's not a good thing. So this is where this awakening is coming in, where we are starting to really take a look at, okay, do we want to stay in the corruption? Do we want to stay in the manipulation? How do we break out of that? How do we, we come back, how do we break out of the manipulation that is happening within our world? What do we need to do as a collective to move forward? And trusting your intuition on that movement forward. That's, so when we go into it, it's like, okay, what do I need to do for myself? It's starting to take a look at things within our own lives. And I just had one good friend moved to, I think he moved to Saskatchewan. Somebody said, "Hey, I got some land here. We're doing some stuff. Do you want to come join?" And because he wasn't following the propaganda, and his workplace was forcing him out, he said, "Yeah." He took the leap. He says, "Yeah, I want to do something different in my life." And he followed that divine intuition. He followed it. And yeah, there's some work there to do, but he's feeling more aligned and more clear-headed than he ever has in his life. Like he's finding more sustainability than he ever had in his life. So that's where it's at. It's like sometimes the leap that you might have to take seems scary and you don't want to do it. It's like, but it's like, you know what? I'm going to do this anyways because this is what I'm feeling called to do. And it could have to do with how you are going to invest your money. It could be how you're going to do your work at your workplace or starting to change your career in some way. All of this is coming in and it's getting you to really look at things with a fresh eyes and new way. So it's positive. It's uplifting. There's great light that's there. The reading I did with on my tarot reading today, take a look at my tarot reading. Absolutely beautiful. I can't make that crap up when the cards started coming in because it was really showing us some real positive momentum and understanding on the direction to go into. So take a look at that. That's up on my YouTube page and on Instagram. So I'm going to send you guys out with so much love today. I do have a meditation that starts March 1st. And if you're wanting to join me, let me know. I'll add you to my list and you'll get the notifications. It's at 8 a.m. Monday through Friday. And we are working with the prayer beads, and our theme is joy and bliss. So our March theme for the meditation is joy and bliss. It's $25. It's recorded. If you can't make it, you can watch, you can watch it. Okay. So, and it's on Zoom, and I'm on Zoom live Monday through Friday at 8 o'clock. And you can join me. It's beautiful. I'm grabbing my mala beads. So we use mala beads, prayer beads. So if you want to join. Also, I have a tarot class coming up on March 2nd. So it's every Wednesday of March. We meet at 7:30 in the evening, and it's about an hour and a half for each one. And we go through about how to read. It's how to improve your reading for the tarot cards and connecting with the tarot cards. I teach with the Reader Writer deck because it's the basic deck. Everything is built off of the Reader Writer deck. So that's the deck I teach from. All sessions are recorded. You do get a copy of the recording, but all sessions are also live. And that's the way I like to teach. I like to teach live online so that I can connect with everybody that is online. And if you have any questions, and definitely. So we have the tarot class that's coming up in March as well. So let me know if you're interested. We'll get you on the list. I'm going to be making the group on Sunday. I'm going to make it on Sunday for the group for the tarot on Messenger. So get a hold of me. It's $99. And if you need a payment plan, you can't afford the $99 upright, let me know. I'll do a payment plan. I've had people make payment plans for $99. And you might think it's like, oh, but it's so embarrassing. No, it's not. You're asking. I want to help. It's not. Everybody needs help, man. The only thing that holds you back is your ego. The only thing that holds you back is your fear. If you want to do something, you got to ask. Don't let the fear hold you back from what you are wanting to do. The answers are there for you. Have a blessed one, and may the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all that you say, in all that you be, and all that you do. Blessed be everybody, and we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.